got ourselves Bob over for the team. One. Look at him slow walking out of here. I love it. Again, why does the camera center around his belly? Kelly is gonna be, I think it's Kelly, right? Kelly. I'm gonna call Kelly. Gonna be first up versus Vendy. Got himself full Wake of Ashes. It looks like they are playing the hammer build potentially, not a Herald of the Sun. As Vendy backing up out of there immediately, he's just gonna go for the full Chitin Spree. Kelly is gonna get hit with a stun. Has a trinket, doesn't use it just yet. Plays the normal dwarf. The Dark Iron? I feel like almost all pallets I see are usually Dark Iron dwarves in most cases. Kind of wild. As Vander trying to see if he can back away from Kelly. Got himself full shield of Ender, so right now you got yourself a little bit of defense. May need to use the wall. Actually, the wall was used. That's gonna go for a juke. Oh, the jukes and disengage. Kelly might be looking for a potential immunity here, where Vandy trying to actually create some line of sight away from Kelly. Does go for... Wait, heal? He didn't immune. He healed himself somehow. Wait, what was that heal? Hold on a second. What was that heal? Actually, just stopped himself without laying hands or anything. Vandy trying to see if he can back away from Kelly. Does land a stun in line of sight. What Vandy really needs to do is get line of sight on Kelly. But if you're line of sight of a paladin, they're just going to hammer you from a distance. Does burn a turtle for the bubble. Kelly able to at least go for a little bit of that recovery. Is it supposed to be Kellite? Kellite? I'm going to call it Kelly. I'm just going to call it Kelly. As Vendy backing up out of there, man. He's just trying to figure out a way out of the situation because he needs line of sight of Kelly, which means he's going to take damage like from a big hammer. Wait a second. Oh. Did Kelly just save? Because Kelly had the opportunity early on to use the hammer, but I think they literally saved it up until like a perfect lockdown just to make sure it is perfect. Perfect. Backing up out of this, Ferdinand trying to go in. I love your set, by the way. That held with the shoulders, that full red. That looks sick. Hold on a second. That looks so good. Kelly with a Blessing of Saint in case there's a stun by the warrior. Is going to go for a Blessing of Protection. Ferdinand is not a way to break out of it. It's going to just have to play defensively. But this is where you're under a ton of pressure. All those hammers flying out. Kelly might just have him in a perfect position. Blind onto Ferdinand. Does not have a second blind to follow up with the Searing Glare, but has plenty of damage. Ferdinand finally able to catch up a little bit of survivability with Enraged Regen. But Kelly backing up out of the completely. As long as you stay away from the Enraged Regen, you kind of deny a lot of that self-healing for Ferdinand. He is trying to pick up whatever health he can. In fact, he kind of wants to stay next to Kelly at all times as long as wings aren't available, because this way you get a lot of healing for Bloodthirst, as other heals, big Wake of Ashes, potentially big hammer. Verda, oh, Kelly's just perfect with those hammer lockdowns. Just make sure to get a proper stun, get a hammer, just to make sure the damage sticks. That is so good as he's picking up a little bit of that self-healing. The Murloc Mog, dude, that Murloc Mog is goated. That thing is insane. Kelly trying to see if he can charge over to Nell, full stun. Does get to avoid the Lunar Shower back there. It's going to be walled together with Shield of Vengeance. That's a lot of defenses used up here, all within same minute. And now just trying to see if he can pick away at Kelly in terms of their overall defense from a distance. Does charge in for Coordinate Assault. Kelly does not have immunities. May need to go for Lay on Hands here. Technically still has Lay on Hands. Do they have enough to survive this? Hold on! They just stayed super aggro and almost just dropped Nell, but he just kept on with it. Conan charging in, it's going to be Reflect. Turtle Shell immediately for Nell. Got him some medic bandages to recover. Conan maybe can at least turn attention on the pet. Does get knocked off the platform. Leaping back in with the Freezing Trap waiting for him. This is where you wish you had the Freezing Trap Reflect, huh? As Nell, I think, is going to try to see if he can, get a full camo and reset. Body shut down. As long as he can get his pet away from Conan, then nothing should be able to break him out of stealth. And that's going to be some easy recovery for him. Conan marked up. It's not like he has stealth or anything to work with, but for now, at the very least, he will always have a very, very solid opener trap. Immediately eating it as soon as he picks up some of the what is it, the eye grenades, explosive shot. Does get himself that good opener that Nelf was looking for. Try to go for that Lunar Storm, which now has a bird flying in circles, which looks really cool. I actually like the way that it looks, just how it flies now. Actually has some animations of movement that just stands there, just hovering. Stun onto not stun. What is it? Not stun. It was harpoon with the what was it? Chimeric? I think it was Chimeric. I saw that icon. I was like, Stormbolt. No, wait, no. The traps around the corner. Wait, so far Conan has not been able to touch Nelf at all. He's either getting knocked around in traps, or getting rooted in place, or getting hit with a Chimeric. Does finally get around with a stomp, but a Freezing Trap stops him. Oh no. as Nelf trying to see if he can get around. Does throw in the grenade, stun around the corner, just trying to see if he can establish full perfect control over Conan. And that's exactly what the Hunter is trying to achieve, is full perfect control. Conan, quick fear on the pet as well as the Hunter, finally going in for some burst damage with a bit of the bleed. Now also going with that butcher bleed. Harpoon to Conan, just trying to see if he can back up out of there, letting that raw dot damage go for it, and it's gonna be a knock as he gets himself a full lockdown onto Nelf with a charge. There goes a freezing trap as he gets himself a bit of damage. Nelf is just trying to see if he can play and stay in control, just bleed out Conan as best as possible. And that is exactly what he should be doing the entire time. Does get himself a grenade thrown in. Another, chimeric shot with a root off of that stun. Trying to keep Conan in place, letting the bird pelt him down. Does gives us a freezing shot for him. But at the very least, Nelf, I think he might just take it. I feel like Conan could just always turn around. With a Fury Warrior, if you get locked down on a bad stun, it's just over. You get locked down, full burst, avatar, Odin's Fury, everything at once. It's just a big burst fiesta. But he's able to go for a little bit of survivability just because he doesn't want to get bursted down. For Conan, that's also full recovery. When you're not attacking him the second wind, keeping him alive. So for Nelf, it's just a full reset with Conan. And it feels like he probably decided, you know what, I need that reset. I need that redo. Conan's still going in to pick up the eyes. I don't think he really needs to. I think he's trying to see if he can bait. Yeah, try to bait him to get himself a full leap. Stormbolt does go for feint death for a second. Trinket, freezing trap. Conan breaks out of it with a trinket of his own. Got himself a reflect. Should be able to blaze storm out of the binding shot. But Nelf does try to see if he can get past him. Yet another charge for the Warrior of Fear as Nelf trying to see if he can back up out of it. Does have himself a full wall available. Got himself even more damage. Conan just needs to stay on top of Nelf and just keep the damage rolling. Nelf just trying to see if he can dot him up, knocking him back, get another charge, but he does have a turtle for the shockwave. Conan needs to pick up a little bit of health. He does have a little muskrat pet attacking him at all times, so you can start bloodthirsting from that thing. Quick medic advantage for Nelf. Does get himself even more traps under Conan with yet another grenade, as well as the bird attacking him yet again. My goodness, so far it's actually still a close match. Conan trying to see if he can get around. Does get a charge, feint death for a second. Does go for a bolt. Is that going to be enough damage? Got him to reflect so you can't freeze and trap him. Scatter for a second. Gets a full set of bleeds onto Nelf. It's going to be a stun. Leaping in with a flanker strike. Got himself a butcher and bleed. But it's just a dot damage. Conan does have some massive defensive. Just he needs to get back over to Nelf. And he might be able to take it. There is a trap waiting around the corner. Most likely a freezing trap. If it goes left, reflect. If you reflect the freezing trap. No, it's a charge trap. Wait, that's perfect. He knows that the other trap has to... Okay, it can actually be a freezing trap or a knockback trap. Does go for knockback. So next trap is a freezing trap. So if he goes in for reflect, it might take it. Stun out of Nelf. Grenades to follow him. Yet another grenade. Conan still barely surviving. Full burst out of Nelf. Hold on a second. Does him to reflect. Gets a freezing trap. Does charge him. Oh, to a kill shot. Oh, that was a lot of back and forth. There was Psycho charging in next. This is going to be all those traps surrounding the pillar, or rather the boxes. I guess it's a pillar, right? It's a pillar. It's a pillar. Box pillar. Box fort. With a torch over there. Actually, I guess if you use imagination, it is pretty close to a box fort. A Psycho? You are Archon. Archon does not finding the stealthy, does it? Yeah, at some point Halo used to find stealthies. I wonder if they maybe should change it with Archon Shadow Priest, maybe where it should. It will hit stealthies. Just to make that whole playstyle a little bit better. Quick Fury into Nelf. Does go for the silence. Nelf is going to have to go for that dot-based gameplay. At the very least, it is a Shadow Priest, so you can easily evade him. Cannot remove those dots, though. So for Psycho, if you can get some of those dots, he should be able to get at least some passive damage with the Nelf. And Nelf is trying to go for some dot damage of his own just to keep Psycho away. You got to start finding a way to stop his healing. 44% dampening is going to make things tougher. If you can get a Mortal Strike by your pet, that's also going to reduce a lot of that self-healing. And Psycho with a Trinket. As long as Nelf can put up dots on the guy, he will be able to kite him out. But he won't be able to, I think, unless the game goes into really high dampening, I think the healing of Psycho is going to be able to deal with the dot damage of Nelf. At some point, he might decide to commit some burst there. Got himself a butchery, full burst. Grenades, it's actually kind of ramping up a little bit. That dot damage is actually doing quite a bit. Freezing trap for just a moment, trying to see if he can get himself a little bit of line of sight. Get another trap at the ready, got his pet over there and everything. But Psycho, he's just not going to be able to catch Nelf. He could technically out-heal those damage, but he is not going to have an easy time catching Nelf. He is whittling him out little by little. Finally got a proper fear. Maybe it could be potentially a moment of free burst. I don't know if he's ever used Halo so far. I don't think he ever actually been able to finish Halo at the end, but Nelf does whittle him out. Yeah, that is not an easy matchup, because the whole time the Hunter is just going to rip you apart little by little, piecemeal when it comes to your overall health. Just going to bleed you out and bleed you dry. So you have to find a moment to catch him in the stun, full burst, get those dots, get the full channel of the big flay insanities, or just outlive him. But with this high dampening, yeah, it's just one of those games where Nelf was just gonna play it slow and steady. He was gonna win it. Versus Big Bob, however, it is gonna be a tough matchup. He technically has a way to remove those bleeds if Big Bob really gets the big Feral Frenzy and all those big rotting bleeds on him. But the dot damage that the Feral can do is so much higher than that of a Hunter. Technically, you still can play and still burst him down and whittle him out little by little. But it's not going to be as easy. Does eat a freezing trap. If Nelf can get himself an angle, get himself a couple traps around the corner in case the Feral gonna rush after him. It is a knockback. Hold on, maybe a stun. Does he go for a pest stun? Doesn't have a pest stun. Blades are up right now onto Hunter. Bob does get stunned up, or at least trying to avoid getting stunned up. That is going to be rude for a second. Does get stunned up. Full burst out of Nelf. Does go for the trick and wall available for the Feral Druid. So this is going to be the most amount of defense he's got. So he's got to get the damage in. That is going to be the big, the manic bandages for Nelf to remove some of those bleeds. But Bob did not use Feral Frenzy. So this is going to be his most amount of bleeds still available. And Nelf won't have an answer for it. Bob is taking quite a bit of damage in health, though. He's gonna have to go bear form, hard in the wild, looking for the recovery, but a stun around the corner, and Nelf is just trying to see if he can get himself an angle, throwing grenades, harpoon for a second, into a butcher and maim. Perfect opportunity for you to get the full bleeds. This could be maybe how he wins it. Full bleeds on Nelf. I don't know if he lives it. Does get himself a wall. He needs to end this druid right now, trying to see if he can go for it. Does get the kill shot. Oh, this is where Bob, I think, should have just ran, because I think with the bleeds, Nelf would have just died. I think with the bleeds, he still dies, right? He gets pretty close. Manic Bandage removes him. That's so rough. Bran trying to see if he can get back over there, but Nelf is going to have his totems getting grenaded. But Nelf just does not have a lot of opportunity here for self-heal. And Brandon with a flame shock, yeah, it's over. Like Lasso, Shadow melted it. Charging in, trying to make some whatever damage he can. Brandon just trying to go for what instant cast has got. Hold on a second. Hunter? Wall? Does it have no bleeds? No, he doesn't. No, he doesn't. What is this? Dude, Survival Hunter dot damage build. It's pretty strong. It's not as, I don't think it's as exciting to watch as like the full bursty version of Survival, but it's still damage. You can definitely control the fight, bleed the other guy out with the grenades, with that butchery bleed, all of your poisons, all of those things, and not let him go anywhere. It is pretty strong. Let's get another one going.